Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Storm from Seaside, and today I'm presenting you guys a brand new episode of the Gran Turismo Track Guide series. And today's episode I'm going to be taking you guys through a guide of one of the most popular tracks in Gran Turismo Sports. I'm talking about Dragontail Seaside. This is the track that we're going to do in today's episode. I decided to go for one of the most particular cars to drive in Gran Turismo Sports. I decided to take the Red Bull X 2014 Junior, which is more or less a Formula 3 car. It's not very powerful, it only has 246 horsepower, and I'm gonna teach you the track, but also the car and how to drive it. So right now, as you can see, I'm standing on the start-finish line, ready to begin the lap guide, and as you can see, turn 1 is actually pretty far away. We can't even actually see turn 1. We can see there's a small kink to the right. So basically, going into what is actually the first corner, the first braking zone of the circuit, but it is actually turn 2 on the track. You want to be braking just over there, just before the 100-meter boards on the right-hand side of the track, and also use quite a lot of the curb, as you can see there, and as my arms are shaking quite a lot. And what you really want to do is to position your car perfectly on the curb. This is absolutely crucial. Going to the second part of the chicane, which is turn 3, you want to use, again, that inside part of the curb. Basically, you have to put the car in a very, very good position, actually the perfect position, because you can get such a huge amount of time. So you really have to make sure that you use the curbs perfectly on this track, because as you can see, they're quite large, so there's quite a lot of space that you can exploit. So now going into a double right-hander. So the first one is pretty easy. It's flat in almost all the categories, but then immediately you have another braking zone. So basically you want to brake around here and just making sure that you are clipping a lot of curb on the inside. But actually you have to keep 2 wheels on the track, because that's going to give you slightly more rotation from the rear. So that's how you want to take that corner, and then smash the throttle at the exit of the last corner of sector 1, because from this point to the hairpin at the very end of sector 2, it's fully under power, so you're not going to have to lift whatsoever. As you can see, up to 3rd gear, 4th gear now. And what you want to do in the S's, which are flat by the way, as I said, you really want to make sure they have the nicest steering angle, just like I'm doing it at the moment. As you can see, the steering angle is very, very small, so it can help you get a few kph. Again, as for all the other corners, what you want to do is brake before the 100-meter board, maybe a little bit earlier, just to get a little bit more space, and just open up the corner a little bit more. So as you can see, this line is absolutely crucial, because it can get you a 10th. Again, use the curb as much as you can, but obviously do not go over too much. Do not go over the curb too much, otherwise the car is going to drop and you're going to take off. Exiting this corner, you want to really have the nicest exit possible, having quite a lot of speed. That's absolutely crucial, because again you have another acceleration zone. Sector 3 is just only 1 braking. Basically in every sector you only have 1 braking zone, so that's why it is so crucial to nail the exit. Otherwise you're going to lose so much time, it's going to be very, very costly at the end. So now going into the last corner of the circuit, you want to be braking just as the curb begins on the left hand side, and again you may want to use a little bit of the curb just to open up the corner a bit more than what you would do if you weren't going over the curb. And then as usual, really try to go for the nicest exit possible, using a lot of curb, and make sure they also use the curb on the outside. So now I'm going to go for a quicker lap in terms of pace, because the tires have cooled. Yeah, they're a little bit cold now. As you can see, we're gaining quite a lot of time, but that's because we're almost stopped on the track. So this is just for the tires to be warmed up. As you can see, I'm really trying to use the curbs as much as possible. Hard on the power. I could have used more curb, but I just braked a little bit too late. And now, entering the S's, try to have the nicest steering angle, using a little bit of the curb. Just making sure they have the nicest steering input. going through that section. And a hairpin. It's in third gear with a quadrigate exit. And now the dead chicane, which is actually a very scary corner. As you can see, you really have to be as close as possible to the walls just to get that extra hundredths of a second. Absolutely crucial. And then the last corner, sliding just a little bit. It was actually pretty good. I'm going to go for an even quicker lap now. The first time that we say is a 1:36.6, but it's not very quick. Can get almost a second out of it. As you can see, the chicane was pretty much nailed. So quite a lot of code now, so that's pretty good. Lost a little bit of time at the exit because the car slided just a little bit. We almost went a little bit too wide. So this is what is really tricky on this track as well, is that sometimes you feel like you can go a lot quicker through a corner, and then the car just slaps you in the face because it just understeers. Alright guys, this is it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, do not hesitate to drop a like to the video and subscribe to the official Yassi Esports YouTube channel. And I will see you guys in the very next episode of the Gran Turismo Track Guide series. Until then, see you next time.